phone thing the same the way you normally.
Yeah, that's how she do it. She still got me.
Okay.
They invite her, I don't. I'm on, so.
Hey, now, are you gonna?
We on, we live just so y'all can know.
Man, don't say my girl cousin.
Huh?
Don't say she's your cousin.
I can't hear nothing.
Don't say she's your cousin.
Yeah, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just talking. Okay, I'm not. This is me right here. All right, do we got anybody on? Oh, we got some people to join us.
All right. Hey,
Yeah,
welcome
people.
back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
We're just gonna try to give them. Oh well, we here now, so. All right. Here we are with Let's Talk. We have a guest today. We have a call in. She couldn't make it up here, so she called in. Miss Toy. See, can people hear you?
Yes. Hello?
But
Can everybody hear me?
they're not gonna talk back, but I'm pretty sure they can hear you.
All right.
Is she here? Did you hear her?
Hey, can you guys let us know if you're able to hear the guest clearly?
Did you, Nick?
Okay.
Are you off your phone or in your ear?
All right. Well, guys, we want to thank you guys for joining in again. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk New Perspective with Damon and Belial. And if you guys are new to the platform or first-time listeners, thank you. But we just want to always just kind of introduce ourselves again. My name is Belial, simply go by B. My co-host is...
Damn.
All right. Again, if you're new to the show, we try to share the new perspectives of single man, married man. Why should I get married? Why should I stay married? Etc., etc. You know, the good stuff. So we're going to jump in. As David mentioned, we have a guest today. We're going to let our guest introduce herself, and then she's going to just kind of dive into the topic today. And the name of the topic today is, why should I get married, and why did I get married? All right, take it away.
All right, so hello everybody. My name is Toy. I'm calling in from a different perspective today to join the show. And my topic, that the portion of the topic that I kind of wanted to add to it is that the why should I get married aspect of it. Because as a woman that is a single woman who has some, things going for herself, educated, raise my children, take care of myself, I feel like that men have went from being the needed partner to being the needy partner. I feel like that they have come into their role to where, women are able to sustain themselves a lot better than men are when they are single and alone. When we're single and alone, we seem to still kind of keep the flow going. Nothing really stops, nothing really changes. But I feel like that in today's age, in today's dating scene, in today's times, I'm finding that men are a lot more needy than they are needed.
Okay, so define needy. What do you say? What do you mean when you say men?
When I say needy, I mean they want you to help them figure out how to pay their bills, help them figure out how to book a flight, or look, log on here and find this for me. Can you book a doctor's appointment? What's for dinner? What we doing next? When is our dates? Like it's just. It's
So what's needed?
Yeah, because I'm seeing that as cooperative. Like if you're my partner, and we're in a relationship, I mean, I'm just seeing you doing those things for me.
But what's needed?
Okay, so the needed is like you are taking something out of my plate. You are helping add value to my life. You are doing something for me that I can't do for myself. You are being an added value. You're bringing something that I can't bring besides feelings.
So are you saying? Because it sounds like you're saying he has to bring some value to you. Do you have to bring value? You would have to bring value to me also, correct?
Absolutely, men would have to bring value and women would have to bring value. And what I'm finding more right now in the dating scene is that the woman is the one that's bringing all the value, and the men are becoming more of the needy. They need more from a woman than they have to pour into her.
Well,
and they have to bring to her.
I can say the same thing. I can reverse that. I can say, well, I'll come across women who need me to pour more into them than they are giving back. So is it that you're choosing the wrong men? Because I'm
But
just,
when you say pour in, are you talking about financially? Are you talking about mentally, spiritually, emotionally? Like, because when I say need, I'm not talking about no man's money or no man's penis. So when you say that you are finding women that need you to pour into them more, what is it that women need? Because you probably are choosing a different spectrum of women. When I say need, I'm not talking about I even need a man to do anything for me financially or do anything for me like this. I'm not talking about money and sex. I'm talking about what are they adding value? Are they taking away from some things from the day that I had? You know, I'm a school counselor. My days get heavy. Are you making sure that sometimes when I walk in the house, there's peace? Because I'm gonna make sure that when you walk in the house, there's peace. And I'll make sure that when you walk in the house, there's food. And I'll make sure that when you walk in the house, there's sex. So are you making sure that I'm walking into those same things, the same things that I need?
Okay.
And everybody's needs are going to be different. So what you need from a woman might be completely different than what we need from a woman. And what I need from a man might be completely different from the women that you deal with and what they need from a man. But what I'm finding in the men that I am, around, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's people I'm dating, whether it's people I'm talking to, is that men have become more of the need. And so they're not even being able to get into that role to where they're being able to bring something that a woman would actually need besides money and dick.
But what you referred to as a man being in need, you defined small task, right? You said need you to get a flight for him, look something up for him.
Well, I was giving just examples. He asked for examples, but I mean the list can go on and on and on and on.
So can you get a deeper need? Because to me, those are small tasks that I ask my wife to do all the time. Like, can you text this person back for me? Can you send this email? Can you make this call? Can you get the hotels? I ask my wife to do that all the time.
And that's needy.
Why is that needy?
It's needy because women themselves have a lot of things on their plate already that they're taking care of in most households. I won't say that that's in all households, and I don't know you and your wife's situation. But what I'm saying is that I have already had a day. I have already been up since 5 o'clock in the morning. I've already went to the gym. I've already went to work and poured this to them. I've already had to check on Infinite Campus and see what the grades are looking like for the kids that are in my home. I've already had to maybe take a kid to practice. I've already had to figure out what's going to be done for dinner. Now I gotta already, do the household chores that I need to do to make sure that my house is in a good situation. So no, I don't want to. As soon as I sit down and take off my shoes, you start giving off your list of things that you could have, did yourself that day.
So who gives off the list? Because you said trip. I'm gonna stay on the trips. Who's supposed to book the flight? Him? Because I think he work too.
I mean, I book flights. I've done those things.
But listen,
I would say that in my
didn't he just come home from work?
experience,
Didn't he just come home from? Didn't he do the same thing you just did?
Exactly. I did the same thing. So why is it now that these are things that she has to do? Why does she gotta respond to the email?
Okay,
why does she have to do those things?
Why do he have to do those things?
Right. Let's undress some of the things you said. You said you work all day. You work with young people. You're working with teachers. So then when you get home, you want to take a break. So you have that hat on. So when you come home, don't you put on another hat? And is that the hat of wife or the hat of committed partner? And so with that comes some energy and some things that mate of yours may want you to do as well. Sound like you want to come home and not do nothing and want this brother to do everything that you don't want to do.
Because
women think they're the prize. I want to come home and not do nothing, but I want to take care of things. Like, I want to have my things that I take care of, and I want him to have his things that he takes care of. And if these are his things that he takes care of, then these are his things that he takes care of. I don't need you to turn around and put those on my plate because I already have my things that I'm going to take care of. Now, if it's something that I want to do, so say the trip this time is my idea. I do not mind looking up the flights. I do not mind, but you can't also turn around and now the trip is your idea and I got to do all of that for you. I just would rather things to be like more of an equal partnership in terms of the
so
actual
I understand an equal partnership. Have you communicated with your partner this?
I am single. And every vacation that I have been on this year, somebody else planned it, somebody else paid for it, and somebody else told me when to show up and where to.
Okay, be. So in a committed relationship, there yes, there are defined roles, and then there are just undefined roles, and then there's tasks and things that need to get done, and they're not
And I
assigned to
absolutely
anybody.
understand that. Of the 41 years that I've been on this earth, I was in committed relationships for 26 years of those. So I definitely understand what a committed relationship looks like and what it is. And for me, in order to get into a committed relationship ever again, I will not take on that role of that I have to be this person's, like, basically trash can, that you dump all of your stuff that you don't feel like doing in a day on me.
So this is what I'm lost, right? I'm single. So this is what B obviously been married for 30 some years. You were married, right?
Yes.
And now you're single.
Correct.
So I'm hearing, okay. So what you're saying is conflicting with B, because they're in their household, they're a team, they're a unit. They both do what they do.
I cook more than my wife. I clean just as much as
you're saying that when you come home from your hard day's work, as if he didn't have an equally as hard day's work, he should. Okay, I don't think you're saying he needs to cook. I'm just thinking you said he needs to do. Are you saying there's tasks that he needs to do and the tasks that you need to do? Because it sounded like you're saying, I'm coming home and sit on my ass and you do everything.
That's exactly
what it
sounds like.
That absolutely does not sound like what I said, because
Okay.
I said when I come home, I gotta make sure if it's, if I'm cooking or whatever the case may be, then I need to make sure there's food. I need to make sure the household chores are done. I need to make sure that I'm in a position where I'm rested for, whatever's gonna happen that night. So I never once said that I wanna come home and then just be in the bed, rubbing my feet together. I'm saying that oftentimes what I am finding now, and I have taken myself out of a married relationship person because I'm a single person now. So the roles that we have in the dating world, of course, are going to be a lot
Right.
different than what B has in his
So
life.
can I interrupt you right
I'm
quick?
not talking in comparison to a married couple that live together
Oh, so you're
in
talking-
their household.
right.
I'm talking in comparison to
Okay, so
like
can I interrupt you real quick? So how long were you married?
for 14 years.
14 years, and these are all personal questions, so you do not have to answer these.
Mm.
But what caused the divorce?
Infidelity.
On your end or his?
His.
Okay.
Okay, so when you were married for 14
I
years,
got a lot of questions.
so did the infidelity lead up to the things he wasn't giving you, so you stopped giving him?
No, and that's why, and let me make this very clear. I'm not talking about from a married standpoint and the things that I went through in my marriage. I'm talking about from a single and dating and right now stage in my life and the type of
So
things
she don't want to visit that
and
marriage.
expectations that men that I am dating
Correct.
are
Okay.
wanting from me.
Okay, so
So I'm-
that's my expertise. So you're saying, I'm saying you're saying, in order for me to date, I have to, and I see this a lot, I hear this a lot, that I gotta make the plans for the movies, or I gotta make the plans for the date. I gotta show up and say, you hear it all the time, you see it on social media. Why don't the man just pull up and say, come on, let's go, and I got somewhere else to go. I already got the date planned. Well, that's not real, right? Me being a single man, that has, I don't care. I've read that and tried to do that. Women, I'm gonna say, hey, let's go. Is that what you want, Toy? Is that what you want?
No, that's not what I'm saying that I want. I don't
Okay.
mind being included on the plans. I don't mind even giving suggestions.
You just
of
don't
the
want to
plans.
do the play. You don't
I'm
want
just
to.
not gonna do the plans all the time. Like I'm
Okay,
not doing
so
it.
I do the plans, and this has happened to me several times. I do the plans. I pull up, boom, let's go. We pull up, oh, I don't want to eat here.
Okay, now that I do not agree with. I have to chime in. I actually just made a post about that. I do not agree with a woman whose expectation is that they don't have to do anything for the day, and then they complain about what the man has done for the day. Because I think that now you're doing too much. You went too far. If you don't want to give suggestions, if you don't want to give a place that you want to go eat, or a place that you want to go to an activity, or a place that you want your next trip, then I do feel like you need to be grateful for whatever effort that was made. So I definitely do not agree with that whole like you've planned it, you told them a time to be ready, they come outside, they get in the car, you pull up now, oh, I don't eat this. No, I don't agree with that.
Yes.
I disagree with that.
So what are the age group of the men you're dating?
Right now they are. I have a friend that's 48, and I have one that's 42, and then I have one that's 37.
Okay, so again, sister, you're gonna have to work with me because you're speaking about just dating men and things of this nature. You want a man that does this and does that. Are you communicating this?
Absolutely.
Are you the
I'm
woman?
very much an open book. I'm very much saying exactly what I need, and I'm also not bending on my boundaries. So I will also cut you off if you've shown after a couple of times.
Okay,
Not-
so your biggest issue right now in a relationship, in starting a relationship and dating millennial 30 somethings, is that you want them to not need you to do remedial tasks, correct?
correct.
But again,
Like if you decide that we're going to the Dallas Cowboy game, I need you to find the tickets and tell me the
so
day.
you're gonna let some. So if you find a good man and he's lacking in that something to me that minute, that's a deal breaker.
It's a deal breaker.
Oh.
And I agree with that. You know,
I'm out of that.
because
Okay.
hey, I agree with deal breakers. You know, because why does she or me or anybody have to compromise on anything? Because
But I don't know if that's a compromise.
it is a compromise because she's saying I don't have to be with you. I can be by myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna if the man, but you have to also be somebody that man wants, right?
Wants. Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. Yes.
So I get that. If he don't check off all the points, check off all the boxes, I don't want you. I understand that. I
And in
don't.
my defense, I don't have a bunch of boxes. Like it's not no whole bunch. I'm not one of those people that have
I got a lot of
list
boxes.
with
I
25
got boxes
things
inside
on it.
boxes.
So
I mean, men
Right.
have more boxes because men have more, thought processes. Physical men have physical stuff on their list.
whatever happened
And-
whatever happened to just cooperative? Whatever happened to you and this person just cooperating
She
together?
could be
What happened to that?
if you don't check the boxes, like I said,
And I get that. I understand checking
and
boxes.
period. It's not nothing else.
Okay, but there you
And
go.
there's
Well, I'll
nobody's
answer that
compromising.
question for you, B. What happens to that is that when you get into situations where you are continuously compromising, if you start off compromising, you continuously compromising. That is the story that you have written for yourself, and now you're always compromising something that you want and something that you desire for this relationship. And that to me is unhealthy. If I have 3 things on my list that I say, okay, these are my no win, like no, I'm not doing these things, then that is okay for me to have those boundaries, and that's okay for me to set those as my things that I don't. Now, will I compromise on some things? Absolutely. There's not a human being alive that won't say, well, he don't do this, but he do that.
Here's
Or
one.
will I compromise on my things that are my deal breakers? No.
Right.
And I am almost done raising kids, and I don't want to raise no more men. So if you need me to make your doctor's appointments, if you need me to pay your bills online, if you need me to book all the trips, if you need me to plan all the dates, if you need me to fix your credit, file your taxes, if you just
So-
need me to do everything that sustains your world, it's a no for me.
So look,
I get the everything.
look, listen to this. Is it that just that's the guys you're picking? Because there are guys out there that don't require any.
Right.
They can handle that.
There absolutely are guys out there that I'm just having a general conversation. I'm not saying that I haven't met any. I'm not saying
Okay.
that I'm not I thought this was just a general conversation, and I just wanted to get another standpoint on it because I am also dating somebody that feels like that I'm a little wrong
Well,
or feeling that way.
so here's the thing. I'm not here to say right, wrong, none of those things, but
And I'm not here to get you to do that. I just wanted to
right. No. I'm just saying. So I'm not going to comment on that. But my comment is geared to this: is that in a relationship, I mean, there's just going to be give and takes, and I understand you got a hard line of not wanting to do this and not wanting to do this. But where is the, not speaking in general to you, but where is the communication? Where is the compromise? Is it that we're not finding people valuable enough to be willing to do these things with? And if that's the case, then yes, don't waste your time. Then move on. But if we find someone of value and valuable enough, then you should be then willing to bend a little bit,
Then they're not valuable.
cooperate a little bit,
If
and
you're
grow
not
together.
valuable, if I
Right.
gotta do
You're
all
not-
that
yeah.
stuff for you, you're not valuable. You add to my list. I already have a to-do list. I already have all of these things I have to do, and now I gotta do all of this stuff that you can't pick up the phone or get on the internet and do yourself either. How is that adding value?
Because you're not valuable. Listen, this is me. So B just said something about if you find somebody that's valuable enough, that means why wouldn't you compromise on certain things?
That's right.
Well, she's not valuable or he's not valuable. In my opinion, I'm gonna stick with me. She's not valuable if I gotta compromise on something, she's not valuable to me. If I gotta I'm gonna drop this. You know, this box you ain't gonna check out. Well, my value is all the boxes because I don't want nobody. But see, a toy meets somebody's box. Every box she check out on every box.
Right.
You check out on somebody's. I check. There's somebody for me that every box checks.
Right.
And what she's saying, I'm thinking, is until that guy comes along.
Right. And so my
I'm not compromising on any other guy until the guy that checks every box.
My comments were in general, right? Not pinpoint. And what I mean by
That's
that
how mine be. And what
is
I'm
that-
saying is that I disagree a little bit with Damon in that you have to check out every box.
You gotta check
Because
out every box.
I do feel like that there is not like every
see, if
box.
you're
is
checking
not
off
gonna be
every
fit.
box and there's no growth, there's no willing to grow together,
Exactly.
then you're
You have no
waiting,
room to
right?
grow.
You're
You
going,
have no
you're
room to
waiting
learn
for
each
the
other.
perfect man.
Yeah,
and
no,
I believe there's no such thing.
I disagree with Damon in that somebody has to check out every box. No,
Well,
I'm not saying
okay.
that. I'm saying that I have worked hard on myself as a person, and I know what value I add, and I know what I bring to the table, and I know my own worth, and so I have decided there are certain things in the areas of dating that I do not want to tolerate, and so I'm not going to tolerate those things. So there are some boxes that yes, you have to check out, but I do not feel like that everything I desire to make, I'm gonna get immediately when I meet a man. No, I feel like some of that's gonna have to grow. You're gonna have to learn each other. You're gonna have to, make some compromises, and you're gonna have to, get to those stages with time and years and work. But there are some boxes that if you
So-
do not check out, we never even get to that because
I heard
no.
I hear this all the time with couples, right? I hear this word all the time. We're gonna grow, and so that word is really another word for compromise. We're gonna grow
It
together,
is.
right? So
You are accepting some things about somebody that you don't necessarily love.
But you're-
over time, y'all can work through those things.
right,
Y'all
but
can
you're
get together.
accepting those things because to me, and since we're using boxes as analogies, you're accepting those things because that person checks more boxes, and because of that,
And
that
not-
person is viewed as valuable to you, and you're willing to compromise. You're willing to give up some things because that's a person that's shown you that you value them enough to do that with them, and
Right, but
vice
what I'm
versa.
saying, Obi, is that I can't get to that part if you are already not checking off the main boxes. Like, I can't let the little box. So say the boxes are two different sizes. So let's not group all the boxes in one box. There's gonna be some things that are big boxes, and then there's gonna be some things that are medium boxes, and then there's gonna be some things that are little boxes. Now, there's gonna be some of those boxes that I need you to check out before we can even figure out if we're gonna get to the point to where we're about to be getting to the medium boxes.
So
The big boxes have to be checked out for me.
So you were married, right? And now you're dating. So
Yes.
I'm saying that. So again, you mentioned what men today, in your opinion, that you've run into
Correct.
were lacking and had some issues, right?
Some
So-
men.
Right.
Let me
No,
make
I
sure
know.
that
I
I'm
know.
making that point.
Right. And I said some. I
So
said
there's
some of the
that's
men. Right.
Checking out the boxes.
So
Yeah.
So you're saying what minus that stuff, in your opinion, for you, what does a man have to bring to the table to you?
He has to be able to be self-sufficient. Like, you can't
Self-sufficient.
come live here yet.
Can't
No, I
live
can't
with
take
you.
you to work. No, you can't drop me off.
Okay, see, stop right there. Okay, now, again, my top broke down. You can't come take me
Okay,
away.
now listen,
Come
I
on,
understand
come on,
that.
come on, B.
No, but I'm just saying,
Nah,
you know, hey, I want to see how
carry on,
hard
B.
I want to see how hard that line is.
Nah.
CD, now listen.
How hard that line is. So, brother, if you get
circumstantial.
okay.
I don't feel like
So,
if your car is in the shop,
self-sufficient.
it's not self-sufficient.
Okay, you said
I don't feel like
self-sufficient.
I
He
don't feel
can't
like
come to
you-
your home. These are all really good things. So self-sufficient, can't stay at your home.
Can't live here.
Okay, what's another?
You know, have your own, means of transportation, your own means of taking care of yourself. I
Okay,
don't-
that's all. That's fair. So your own transportation, your own home. Now, does that home have to be a house? Because you hear a lot of
No, it
sisters
could be an
say,
apartment.
he got to
It
have
could
his
be-
own house. So
It
I
could
never
be a
understood
studio.
that, right? Because
It could be a studio apartment for all
Cool,
I care.
cool.
As long as you don't got it come
okay, because you hear a lot of sisters say he
Long as
needs
he-
to have a
long as he
house,
ain't living on his
but
mama.
y'all can't live in both houses. So I never understood why sisters put that
He
as
can't
one
be
of their
living with
things.
his wife
Okay.
or his mama.
He can't do what now?
He can't be living with his wife or his mama.
That's fair. He can't be. Well, we definitely don't want to live with his wife,
Well-
so he can't live at home.
What-
Now, what if there was a situation or something that happened, and maybe he's just got a new job, fell on some hard times, just got a new job, he's building himself back up, so temporarily he dipped back with moms. That's the deal breaker.
Well, that's not the guy she
Yeah.
wants.
Okay.
Because I've had to get a divorce, and I'm the one that had to take the kids, and I still had to sustain myself. I still had to make sure. And my ex-husband did live with his parents for a long time after I divorced, a long time.
Right, and so that's a scenario, right? Where if you
And
get
that's
a
a deal
divorce,
breaker.
you economics, property, other things, and you may have to start over. And while you starting over, you may have to stay with a friend, stay with a
Okay, I was
cousin.
talking about 6.
No, I get what you're
3
saying.
months, 6
No.
months, like.
I don't know what that
Because
time
you're still
frame is.
self-sufficient if you stand with your parents for 3 months because you just got a divorce last month.
So
You're
everything
still
you describe,
self-sufficient.
right? I understand everything you described is absolute. I would expect no less from anyone. I think a man should be self-sufficient, and if he's not, that's a sign. I think a man should have reliable transportation, especially if he's in his mid-30s and early 40s. I think a man should have a safe place to live. So I definitely agree with all of those things. So minus all those things. Now, what is it that you're giving this man in return if he checks those boxes? What does he get? Because so I'm a brother. Now I have my own place. I got my own car. I have a stable job, etc., etc. Now that's what you wanting. So I'm giving you that. What are you giving him in return?
Well, here's my thing now when you ask those type of questions, because to me, everybody's needs, desires, and what they
That's
desire.
what we're hitting on. So Teddy J, we're commenting on it right now. What do you bring to the table? So what value do a man get for dating you?
No, for that man gets.
Yeah, right, that man in general.
I don't ask a man to check a box that I can't check myself.
Okay,
So if he
sister, hold on,
needs the same
sister.
boxes checked
What
that I
does
won't
he
check,
get?
then we good.
Okay, so he gets the same thing. So he gets a woman with a good job or a job, has a place to stay, and reliable transportation. Correct?
Yes, he gets any box.
Okay,
Every
you
single box.
just described a teenager, or so a teenager can have 3 or 4 of those. So if that's all I'm getting, if I'm just gonna
But
get
what has
somebody
to
with
be
a car,
available?
and I'm just gonna get somebody with a stable job, and I'm gonna get somebody with somewhere to stay.
So it can't be a teenager. But we are still on my first box. We on box 1. So we got other boxes.
But we talking about, hold on, we're talking about what you're gonna bring, what you bring to the table.
What I'm saying is that there's not a box that I desire to be checked that I can't check myself.
Okay.
So the things that I want in a mate, I can bring to the table too if that's what they want.
Okay, but give us one of those things. What is one of
We have
those
to stop
things?
comparing people to each other like everybody thinks the same. and
We're
everybody
not
thinks the
comparing
same
people.
thing.
We're asking you, what do you bring to the relationship?
Well, it depends on what that person needs because I'm a very flexible person.
No.
Like I can bring if you need.
So I'm
a
emotionally
certain-
stable, so I don't need. What do you bring? So you said that this man has to have this, and that. And I'm
And those are
asking
my
you, so
needs
now
and
what do
desires.
you have to have?
What? Tell me what that man's needs and desires are, and I can tell you if I can bring those things with to this.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say this. So I'm gonna say that because she's single, but you coming from being 30 years.
Yeah, you.
I'm not coming from. No, I'm
gotta
not
date.
coming from that.
So I'm
I'm
saying
coming from. If
so-
you expect a
hold on.
man to have certain things,
Right.
then what do you bring that's equal
Well,
to that
so
in a
this-
relationship?
So
And that's what I'm saying. There's nothing I'm asking of him that I can't provide
y'all
myself.
keep saying the same thing. So I'm single, right? I'm looking for a woman. I check all those boxes, right? I got a car, I have a house, I have a great job. I check all those boxes and some more other things. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna check those boxes too, and I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna check a lot of your boxes. But from the look test, I'm checking boxes. You're not gonna get to know the other boxes that I don't check, that I'm pretty sure I don't check, until you get to know me, until you start dealing with me, right? So that goes both ways.
That's my point
So
exactly.
what boxes? I mean, so now, from the look test, what's the phrase I use? The look test. From me seeing you, Toy, which I can't see you, you're calling. What's gonna make me the guy that has the house, the car, the job? I'm going to let them say I'm handsome. So the house, the job, the house. No, what do you? Why would I want you? Is what I'm asking. What makes you?
Because I too have the
See what he's
things
bringing
that I
to.
desire. Just like so, you figure out your things that you desire, your list, right? You check them off. So on the things that I desire, I provide those things. I provide the look. I keep myself up. I'm not in public looking any type of way. I'm gonna make sure I'm presentable. I'm gonna make sure that I keep myself together.
Okay,
I have
okay,
the
hold on.
career. I have,
Right.
you know, the.
Okay, let's stamp that. Hold on, Toy. Hold on,
Toy.
Toy. Hold on. Let's stamp that. You keep yourself up. You look. You're not going out looking any kind of way. You're gonna keep your hair done. You're gonna keep yourself up. I just want to stamp what you're saying. So that's one. You're gonna keep yourself up. What's another one?
Like I said, if I'm requiring for somebody to have their own, be able to be self-sufficient, I have my own things as well. I don't need a man to come in here and pay no bills.
So
like,
you're bringing this to the table. You're gonna keep yourself up. You're going to also be gainfully employed. You also will have a place to stay, and you also will have reliable transportation. Correct? We just want to stamp these things. Correct? So I'm gonna keep myself up. I'm gonna maintain and have a good job, a reliable job, a steady job. I'm going to have a reliable car and a place to stay. So that's what I'm bringing to the table, right?
Right. I date my men.
Nothing,
I take them on
nothing
dates.
separated
I plan
you.
stuff.
But
I
I'm just
plan
saying,
stuff.
nothing separated you from nobody else. So
You know-
again, why would?
This is where y'all confusing me, both of y'all. So if this brother's self-sufficient, he has his own. He doesn't. Only thing that brother needs, and I'm gonna say, the only thing that brother needs from a woman is sex.
Right. Same thing that most women need from men, sex. We doing everything else on our own. We don't need y'all for anything else.
Right. So
Okay, so that's what we talked about last week. I mean, I think that unfortunately our culture has diminished black men
here we go.
to that point. That's where we're going, brother. Has diminished black men to that point and has emasculated them,
Everybody
emasculated
don't
women
need all-
to
I
where
disagree.
you guys
I
say, I don't
disagree.
need nothing but a penis. And that's just not, that's...
well, she no,
Well,
obviously
me,
she
you
needs
gotta
more
think
No,
than
I'm
about
that.
saying you guys. I'm not just speaking to you.
No, she
as
needs-
as a whole.
If that's the case, and if you feel like if that's the case, then you have to ask yourself why. You have to figure out, you have to get to the groundwork of why that is and why women are feeling like that. Because men are not bringing up no more than dick and a headache. So there's no point in me doing all of this stuff and getting all outside of myself and compromising and being a little secretary when all you really can bring is
But-
dick and a headache.
but I'm saying- so if that's
men
the
have to start
mindset-
back bringing more. They have to start back
If
being
that's the
more.
mindset of a lot of black women, and not all, but if that's the mindset you go into the relationship, then you're not going to give a brother a chance. If you're saying all I need you for is this,
No, she had a list
You
of
have to
stuff.
show me that that's all you can provide.
She had a list.
I go in. I'm innocent. You innocent. You whole. You it until proven otherwise.
I understand
I
that,
don't go into
but
any situation.
right, but she
saying
said-
you ain't shit from the
Right,
beginning.
right.
All
Hey,
you
Toy,
is dick and a headache.
Toy.
I don't start saying you just dick and a headache till you just dick and a headache.
right. But I'm
So,
saying,
you have
but
given me
if that's
a
the
reason.
mindset that eventually
That's not the
he's
mindset,
going to
though.
be this
That's
and
not
a
the
headache.
mindset, though.
No,
It is
I'm saying if That's the
Oh, okay.
mindset.
Well, no, that's
So-
not my mindset.
No, I'm speaking in general. I'm not directing. I'm speaking in
I'm speaking
general.
directly to
Then
you.
that's the problem with why we're not willing to get involved in a relationship and see potential in a black man and grow that and build that, because we're going in with the mindset he's penis and a headache.
Tell me why come a woman, okay, if you go back, and I'm not a super religious person, but my parents had me in church all my life, so if you go back to the core of this,
Okay.
men were here first, right? And then we had to come from out of y'all's side, right? Not behind y'all, not under y'all feet. We had to come out
I
of
would agree with
y'all's
that.
side, right? Why are we
Right. If
the
you go
ones?
with the biblical, that's that.
So why are we the ones that didn't have to be patient while y'all grow and learn? Y'all were here first. Y'all
Right.
should-
Okay. So
Now,
I'm
you going way back to biblical.
Right. So if we're gonna go biblical, I'm gonna say
Right.
this real quick, and I definitely don't want to go biblical, but if we're going there, it says that Eve was created as a help mate. And we
Absolutely.
use the term mate, but it was to help make. Now that means to help make Adam whole. You can't help make Adam whole if you trying to be Adam. If you more masculine than Adam, if you're trying to emasculate Adam, if you're trying to run Adam's house, if you're trying to do all those things, you can't make him whole.
Who
I don't
said
think
that
she's
a real
I'm
man
not talking
is
about you, sister. Remember, I
One
said
rib
I'm.
don't even.
I said I'm going general.
One rib
Well,
don't even get you
let's-
full.
let's stay here.
You need more. A rib. If taking one rib away from you made you unwhole, you was already whole from the.
No, we're talking. So that's where that verse comes from. I mean, that's.
Hey, Tori, excuse me for a
just
second.
And
Hold
I'm
on.
just saying that's your interpretation of that verse, but I think about it like that was just one rib. That's all that woman was supposed to be to you. She wasn't supposed to come in and be your everything, and now you need her for everything, and she got to do everything, and she is just everything because you gave her a rib. Like that's one rib. That's not nothing gonna get you.
But
full.
isn't that what you just said about a man? You
What?
just said a man is supposed to be. We are here from your rib, whatever your statement was.
I said that the man is if the man is supposed to lead, then why do the woman have to come in and do everything and help you grow and help you become whole, like he just said?
Okay, well,
Why
I'm saying,
is that
okay,
the-
I'm-
why is that the narrative
let's-
that was created?
Because-
hold on,
I was
let's-
raised-
A man is
Let's
not
move
fulfilled
to-
until he has his
Hold
soul
on.
mate.
Listen.
I was raised by a man who was able to do many things. He could sew, he could cook, he could clean,
So listen.
he could work on houses, he could work on cars.
Let's do this. So let's look at it as like a football. You know what I'm saying? We're a team, right? Quarterback. Everybody has a role on this team.
That's right.
Everybody has to do something. You know what I'm saying? The man is me. I'm not just gonna sit back. I'm here to win. So we got to be on the same page. Because it sounds. Sometimes it sounds. I'm talking to you, Toy. I'm not talking in general. I'm talking
Okay, to me,
to what you said. I'm going off the comments you were making. So I'm responding to the comments you're making. The comment you made, and you might have been speaking generally, but the comment you made about the Adam Eve the situation. I may be wrong. Correct me. That the woman, the man is the protector. This, that, and other, and all this, right?
Right.
And I agree wholeheartedly with that. Man, it's my job to this woman. That's my job. I believe that. Now,
That's value, right? And value cost.
Protect, profess, and provide.
right.
But that's value, and value cost.
Now, is that woman, are you the woman, and is that woman worth that? You see what I'm saying?
But those are the decisions that you make when you're single, and those are the decisions that I'm making. And I just want the narrative to not always be created that because a man gave a woman one rib, now she got to be his everything. Like now she got to be the one that does everything that he needs. He can't make a doctor's appointment. He can't pay a bill. He can't book a flight. He can't do an email. He can't do nothing for himself no more.
She
because
can't
now
change her tire.
they gave her
She
one
can't-
rib.
Exactly, because that's what I was going to say. Because listen, yes, when I need my prescriptions refilled, guess who does that? Guess who
I don't know.
Guess who
Not me.
tells me that needs to be done? When I have my dentist appointment, guess who tells me you have an upcoming dentist appointment?
So you have a
And so
you
my
have a problem
wife-
with that, Toy.
And at the same time, I'm doing other things that's
So
making
at the
sure
same
she's
time,
secure and safe.
making sure that she knows when her dentist appointments is and when her prescription needs to be refilled and when she
No.
has
No, he does other things.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
His
I'm not
value-
going
his
to. I'm
value
not
is
going to do
somewhere
that. That's what my wife reminds me of birthdays. I don't know nobody's birthday. I don't need to know their
Listen,
birthday.
your
I know
wife-
one birthday, and that's hers, because that's the most important one to me. So I know hers.
And your wife,
And so
your
that's the
wife-
one I need to know and I need to respond to. Our children, she'll tell me their birthday coming.
Don't ever let her go. Do whatever you got to do to keep her. Whatever you got to do.
So his value,
Trip, by the ring, by the house,
But-
whatever it is she
his
wants by
his
the
value to her
do
is
whatever
something
to keep
different.
her,
But
because
again, so
you are not going to find that. You are not going to find that again.
then that's sad. Because
It's not sad.
that's a
because
trade-off.
it's a narrative-
I'm doing
it's a
that.
narrative that was created by men for men. It was never designed to be beneficial to women. Marriage was never designed to be beneficial for women.
You're a feminist.
It was designed to be
Yes, you
beneficial
are.
to men. Because the whole reason for marriage was so that man could not be alone. So it was never designed to be beneficial to
Do
women.
you know how this thing is made up? So this is how this thing is made up.
Marriage is definitely not for a man. I'll tell you right now.
This is how this thing is made up. So we're here to reproduce. That's obvious because everything
Marriage
about
is probably the
it is
most
to reproduce.
unnatural thing
So-
in male society. Is marriage.
When they decided that if you read, you will see that a lot of things say that like so that men wouldn't be having sex with people they weren't supposed to be having sex with. It was a companion made for y'all. The companionship was made for y'all. The companionship was made so that y'all can have somebody to screw on, so that y'all could have somebody to do something for y'all. It was never designed.
That book was wrote by y'all.
So
I mean,
Clearly.
y'all is in males. Y'all are two males.
No,
not
I'm
y'all
saying
is-
that book that you're saying that you're quoting, that you're
I'm
referencing.
not quoting no book. I'm not quoting no
Oh, I
book.
thought you
I'm
said
talking
something
about if you look up the reason why a lot of people get married is for the benefit of the man. When I went through my divorce, I had to go through a helping children cope with divorce class. And when they found out, like when they did the statistics, how many men get remarried within the first 2 years versus how many women get remarried in the first 3 years, it was almost more than 50% difference. Men go to get married again because they seek what women can do for
no,
them.
men get married because women. That's the goal for most.
No,
women or
that is
some
not the
women.
goal.
And
That
so
is
yes,
not
a
the
man can get remarried quick because a man of value. I just
I'm surprised you didn't know that
but a
stuff.
man of value.
No, I'm talking about any
He's-
men. I'm
he's
talking
desired
these men, men
from
of
a
value.
woman.
These men, some of these men was just regular folk. They just regular men of value. And I think that that's crazy that you feel like women can't get married just as easy.
I think.
Because
Listen,
I've never had any problem with that. Like
I-
men start talking marriage within a couple of months. A couple of months, I'm hearing about marriage.
I mean,
A couple of months, I'm getting ring pictures. So it's never been a problem for women
Right.
to get married. I think that that's a narrative that has been created that is false as well. But if you think about it, men statistically die alone more than women.
right.
Marriage
So
is
did
designed-
you have marriage counseling or anything like that before you got married?
Yeah, I had marriage counseling.
And you said any of this to the marriage counselor guy? And he still agreed to marry y'all?
Well,
and get
I was a
married?
different person then. I didn't know myself, and I didn't know my worth, and I didn't.
How
know
old were you when you got married?
I was 21.
Did you ever get married again?
Yes.
So you're not against marriage. You just that relationship ran its course.
I'm not
correct?
against marriage, but my marriage would never be what society has turned marriage into.
I don't
My
think
marriage
there's a
never be-
definition of a marriage. I think all marriages are different, and that's what
I agree,
couples
but I'm saying
cultivate.
there is definitely a
Correct.
just like how you're just kind of like how you saying, you know, kind of what your definition of marriage is. You hear that a lot. I'll just
Okay,
say-
I haven't gave you a definition of marriage. I just shared with you the way my wife supports me in our marriage, but it's not the definition.
Right, it's
but-
not the definition.
Right,
I
but
agree.
my
I
wife,
agree, it's not the
because she
definition.
loves me, she wants to make sure I'm healthy. She wants to make sure those things take place. So yes, my wife reminds me of doctor's appointment. My wife
You know,
calls in my prescriptions because
And
she
I
loves me.
understand
So
if I-
she's doing
when I
these
got
things out of
married-
love for me. She wants me to be healthy so I can continue to be here for her and our
And
family.
if I ever get married again, my husband is going to have to be his own person to care about his health as well, to make sure that in his own iPhone, he can put in his calendar that he has a doctor's appointment next Tuesday at 8 o'clock. So that along
So do you have a so is it that because I mean, wow, I don't see why a man couldn't make his own appointments. I'm not saying my wife has made every appointment I've ever gone to. She hasn't. As a matter of fact, she makes few, but she does remind me of things. She does
Me, and
inform
tell me
me
this:
of things.
have you ever asked her? Have you ever asked her? Does she mind doing that?
No, I haven't. And I never asked her to do those things.
Okay, look.
She does those things because she loves
She
me.
does those things because she obviously feels like that's out of obligation. That's how y'all's marriage
It's
can
not
work.
out of
All I'm
obligation.
saying is,
She's not obligated to do those things.
Have you ever asked her does she mind doing those things? Have you ever asked her why she does those things?
I'm going to ask her today.
Alright,
But I never ever saw those things
so
as a
listen.
burden. I
So
mean, those are so
You
small.
don't, the man never does. The man never does.
But those are
That's
such small things that.
I'm gonna try to
They
get a
are
word or
such
two in
small
here right
things
quick.
to you because you're not doing them.
So
I'm gonna try to get a word or two in here right quick. So this is my thing, right? I've been involved with women, right, to where
Can you speak up, Daniel?
I've been involved with women to where that would be gets automatic from his wife. I don't too much ask anyone to do anything for me, but when I do, I get a look. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten looks like I might say. I remember asking that lady. I've said this before on this platform. I was at her house eating, and I said, "Can you grab me a bottle of water?" And she looked at me like, "I dare you ask me to get you a bottle of water. The refrigerator is right there." So, and that was just to grab a bottle of water. Now, yes, she would have to get up and walk around me to get to the refrigerator, but that's the person I'm gonna ask the woman to do for me because I come with so much to the table. I bring a lot to the table, right? And the fact that she had a problem with the bottled water. Now, B and I talked about this too. The reason was that we come up with, and this is a question one of the viewers is asking you, Jamaica, where this young lady didn't see how a man is treated because her mother and father wasn't married.
correct.
So she was in single. She came from a single household. So to see her, she never seen her mother take a man a plate.
I need to make a small disclaimer.
Right. So-
real quick, the name you just announced, we don't have her on the Zoom. We have the other.
We have Toy.
We have Toy. That person never answered when we called.
Okay. So y'all made me lose what I was talking about.
No,
But anyway,
I know exactly what you
to
mean.
come
So
from a
were
single-
you able
come
to
from a
see that?
single- To come from a single household, only a mother, no father.
But
Were
even if
you?
didn't see
What was
that,
your situation? Were you raised with a mother and a father? Did you see your mother do these things for a man? Did you see your mother come in and did make your father's dental appointments? What did your father and mother do? Or did you have? I know you had a father and mother, but where's your father and mother in the same house with you? So, someone asked that question.
so here's the
Okay,
thing.
yes. So to answer that question, yes, my parents were married until my mother's passing. So I always seen a very joint efforts of taking care of each other. My father had to do a lot more taking care of than my mother because my mother
So
had
that's
an
why.
addiction. But I saw so yes, I grew up with a man that, like I said earlier,
Yes, I
he
will
cooked,
agree,
he
but we're not going to
stole,
comment on that.
he
Go ahead,
cooked,
I'm
he
sorry.
stole, he worked on houses, he worked on cars. My daddy could pretty much do, anything that he needed to do with or without a woman.
Okay, so that's the trade-off. So my wife makes doctor's appointments, reminds me of appointments, calls in my prescriptions because the trade-off is financially. I take care of that. I don't
And
mean
my father took care of
and cutting yards and cooking dinner and going to the
and
grocery store and fixing
he
things
made-
around the house.
And he took care of everything else.
So are you looking for that man again? For your man?
I'm not. I know that there's not gonna ever be another one. I've accepted that fact. What I'm saying though is that nothing about my
Yeah, here's another one right here. He's right here. B is that one. He does everything your father did for your mother to his wife. So they exist.
But like I said, they were different situations because my mama didn't have to do as much as his wife. So
But your father did just as much as B.
And that may be the case, but I'm saying my mother didn't have to do as much as his wife, so I can't. This comparing apples to oranges.
No, we're trying to get to where you were. Okay, so B is one spectrum of marriage, and you're coming from another spectrum of marriage, right? On another end. So and your parents were another one. So your parents sounded more like B's situation. Well, not really.
Except for my mother did not have to do as much as B's wife, so that's what I'm saying. It's comparing apples.
So
to oranges.
therefore, you don't
You're
want to
amazing me thinking that because my wife wants to make sure I'm healthy and reminds me of things, that's doing a lot. That's basic.
Well, she getting that from
Very
because
basic.
she didn't
That's
see her
basic.
mother. She didn't see her
I don't feel like
mother
somebody
doing all
said
that.
cash out for me $1,000 and saying book your next vacation is a lot. But I posted that on Facebook the other day and people was acting like I was asking too much. So your perception of what is a lot is gonna be based off of what your
Correct.
expectations are.
You're
which is
absolutely
higher. So I mean,
But-
it might not feel like a lot to you, and it might not feel like a lot to her, and that's great. You got to do what works for you in a marriage. I'm not talking about from a standpoint of marriage because that's not where I'm at.
Right.
So that's why I said it's comparing apples to oranges. I can't let my parents' relationship shape any.
But it sounds like it is.
But you're going to have in a
It sound like it
relationship,
has.
you gotta put in work, and you gotta be willing to do work with and for your partner.
Absolutely. But first, before we can even get there, I need him to check these boxes. And
I understand that.
once he checks these boxes, the other stuff that I gotta compromise on is compromisable. I'm fine with that. Yes, let's compromise. Let's grow together
Right.
in these areas.
To me-
let's continue to build. Let's find out each other in these areas. But in these areas over here, you need to already be who you are. I'm over 40. So dating over 40 is different than when I was dating when I met my ex-husband when I was a freshman at Booker T. So dating then and dating now looks
Right.
very, very, very different.
Okay, so how are you with dealing with emotional issues and trust issues?
Very good. I trust you fully until you give me a reason not to.
Or I need you to call the doctor, right?
I still can trust you. But
Baby, I'm
not
about to die. Can you call the doctor? I ain't calling no doctor. You know that's my number one rule.
Well, we're not talking about emergency situations, B. We're talking about this
I'm just
regular
having
day.
some fun. I'm
We ain't
having
talking.
some
I mean, everything is gonna be subject to interpretation when
Right.
we get into certain, circumstantial things. Like, yes, I'm gonna give you CPR and call IMSA if you on the ground, having a stroke. But I am not going to be calling a dentist for you, talking about your 40-something-year-old ass needs your teeth cleaned. No,
No,
You know something? Shit.
you do that.
my wife
Yeah.
want to keep me healthy.
We gonna so dating.
I told you to keep her.
So yeah, he is. So dating. So dating for you pretty much is.
Like she said, dick until it's a headache.
No, she didn't. Say
No,
that.
I didn't say
She
that's
did
what
not say
dating was, B. Now don't put words in my mouth. I said
She didn't say that.
that a lot of men, not all, have proven themselves over time that that's all that they have to offer. And not even just in my personal situations. Like, I have a lot of women friends that I talk to. Like I said, I'm in a school counseling role. People just inbox me randomly. If you follow me on Facebook, you will probably understand what I'm saying a little bit more. Because most of this is not even just like necessarily just my own personal experiences that I'm speaking from.
Right.
But I have a lot of people that love the way that I talk on Facebook, love the way that I just act. They'll inbox me, like, can I get your number? I want to talk to you. So these are just a mix of
Correct.
experiences with men,
So-
not my person. Because I actually have no complaints.
So
Would you take that time, Ray?
are these people that's on Facebook that's calling you and
Are you married or single?
saying that you're great and all this?
They said I'm
Saying that you're
influential.
great.
They're saying that they said I kept them out of funk.
Are there? Have they been damaged? Have they been hurt? What's their issue? Because
I mean, some
This
of them
sounds like-
call
this
it
sounds
to
like to
figure out
me-
how-
you mad, and I hate
Me?
to say that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm far from that.
No, not
I am in the best state. I can honestly say with all 100% no issues, no reservations, that I am in the best state mentally and spiritually than I've been in a very, very long time.
You're just
Can you
not
tell
gonna-
us why that is?
You're just not for no BS when it comes to a brother.
Right. Then
So
that's
you-
fine. Are you in that best state?
You're not gonna date anyone, and I get that. You're not gonna. So you don't want to date anyone that's potentially gonna compromise your peace.
My peace. It is first and foremost in my life. I have worked hard to get here. I have been in therapy. I have done the work. I have made sure that mentally, whoever I end up with is gonna get a whole person. They're not gonna get a person that's blaming them for stuff my husband or my son's father did years ago. I am not in a bad space in any type of way and shape or form. I feel like there are a lot of beautiful black men that are out here taking care of their families, that are out here taking care of their children. I commend them. I may post about them, post a picture. We just want to celebrate you. I am in the best space that I've ever been in my 42 years of life right now, spiritually and mentally. There's no hurt, there's no anger. I don't have no hostility toward nobody, no past, no nothing.
Well, so there's somebody that said that they asked why do when a woman is strong, they say you're strong to her. When a woman is strong, why do we think she's angry?
Why?
Yeah, I don't think she's angry. I'm saying from.
Well, you just called me angry because I don't want to deal with a man who I gotta make the doctor's appointments for.
I said
I think you entitled to that.
You know, I'm saying.
But he not just say I was angry.
Yeah, I did.
Said I think you're angry.
I think his exact words is you sound angry.
Right.
I sound angry.
Right.
Why do I sound
Right.
angry?
But sounding angry, being angry is not the same.
Right. So you sound angry because you have boxes, and I'm with the box thing. I'm with not letting anybody interfere with your peace. I'm with that. But you didn't attack B. But from what his wife is doing in their relationship, you're like, no, I would never do that for my man.
And that's my personal preference.
Right, exactly.
Anger.
So, absolutely.
And I'm saying, why wouldn't a person? Because it's not unreasonable, but it don't sound anything unreasonable. And I'm hard on this brother.
And it doesn't have to sound unreasonable to me, and it doesn't have to sound unreasable to you.
No, I'm answering the question to why I said you sounded angry. All this is just why I'm saying it, in my opinion. So it sounds real reasonable to me that B's wife caters to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. That I would love that in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But you like, I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna cater to my man.
I have boundaries. I do have boundaries that I have set forward. Do I cater? Absolutely. Will I do certain things that maybe you would not consider as like things that people should do? Absolutely. Have I done those things previously? Absolutely. When I speak from a standpoint of what I want to do now, I'm talking about in this space that I'm in. I'm not in a marriage. I'm not in a relationship. I'm getting to know men. And in these beginning stages, I need you to show yourself true that you're able to do these things. So if having boundaries makes me angry, then I will call myself angry. Because yes, I have boundaries. Ain't nobody coming in here when you're putting it in the perspective of what Bilal is talking about in terms of his situation.
So we have a comment, and it says, could you repeat that again, please? Well, again, I want to address something real fast. I don't like using the word cater. My wife doesn't cater to me. I think what my wife does.
And I like using the word cater.
Right. I understand that, but right. My wife does not cater to me, and so I just wanted. She does. My wife doesn't cater to me.
Well,
my wife loves me, and my wife loves me, and I love her, and she does things that shows her commitment to us.
But they cater to each other. So I'm gonna use the word cater.
Well, they don't cater. They don't. Damon, he said they don't do the cater.
They do.
They love each other and they do. They show acts of kindness. That's how
absolutely.
They show acts of service is their
cooperation.
Love and cooperation is their love language, and that works for them. And I'm not taking anything from it. I apply it. Keep her. She loves you in the way that you need to be loved, and she does the things for you that show love.
And I appreciate that, and thank you. But I just want to, because I just want to make it clear that
she does not cater.
I'm not even talking about that anymore. I just want to keep saying that minimal things to some people are major things to others.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree, because there are some things that I will do that people probably be like, oh, you doing too much for this man.
So
You
did your
moving out.
previous
You went
experience
all
in your
out.
marriage bring about this new philosophy that you have?
Of course, absolutely.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did. That
It did not bring about this new philosophy that I had.
So-
Actually,
so what-
what
okay.
brought about this new philosophy that I had is, like I said, that I did the work on myself. I got to know who I was as a person. I got to know who I was as a woman. I got to know who I was as a mother. And I decided that I was not going to let anybody in society or anything in society define those roles for myself and what makes me happy and what I can offer to somebody. Now, do I expect that to be something that every man can deal with? Absolutely not. We're not intended to be for everybody. We're only intended to be for the people that we're made for. So I don't expect for any man to get this, but would I be lying if I said that I have dated men that completely agreed with this philosophy and completely understood what I was saying? Because maybe they had been in situations where they had found themselves too, and they be like, I completely agree. I do everything on my own. All I maybe want for a woman to do is have a hot meal for me when I come in. All I want for a woman to do is, date me occasionally. Plan something for me, plan something for us. So people's experiences definitely shape their philosophy on dating and love and marriage and all that type of stuff. And just for me, it's a self-exploration. Because I come from a family full of marriages. And I come from a family full of lasting marriages. I mean, most of my family was married to these people that they were with from the time I came into this world until they went on to, glory. So I come from a family. Like, I'm not one of these women out here who never had examples of marriage and love and longevity and none of that. Like, I've seen that in every single, my paternal grandparents are married for 66 years. My maternal grandparents are married to death. My mom and dad were. All of my aunties and uncles were married until those people passed away. So I am not coming from a standpoint of where I don't understand and respect what marriage and value what it brings. Just for me, my marriage is going to look a lot differently than
and it should. And listen, guys, I want everybody to know I'm not the advocate or the poster boy for marriage. If you guys have listened to me before, I always say committed relationships.
Yes.
You can have a committed relationship and it be just as lovely, just as strong as a marriage.
As a marriage,
So,
yes.
so I'm just referring to committal relationship.
Let me ask you.
I am
Troy,
going to get married because, and why I say that if I get in a committed relationship that, sustains, I am going to be married because I value what marriages bring. My mother worked the majority of her life. My father had his own business. He didn't have insurance. He didn't pay the Social Security. He didn't have none of that going on. When my mother passed away, my mother's Social Security sustained my father until he passed away. There are also some financial benefits to marriage and not just committed relationships. So I won't be in a committed relationship with anybody without being married again.
Let me ask a question, because you touched on something, and I'm going to go back to your boxes, right? And that guy that has to check out these boxes off, I'm going to ask you this question. So you just touched on, I'm a good mother. You have children.
Correct.
Can that 3 children? Can that guy have children? Would you date a guy with children? 3?
He can have children that are of a certain age. My children are 23, 19, and 16. So he cannot have a 2-year-old.
He can't have 2-year-olds.
But what if you had a 2-year-old? So when did you get a divorce? How was your baby when you got a divorce?
When I got a divorce, my youngest was 7 months.
So you wouldn't date a guy.
You had a 2-year-old.
Right.
When my daughter was 7 months?
Right.
Or now?
Well, I'm just saying because
Would I date a guy that had a 2-year-old now, or would I have dated a guy that had a 2-year-old when I got a divorce?
Okay, back then when you had a 2-year-old, would you date a guy with a 2-year-old?
Yes, when I was still in the thick of raising kids, yeah, let's live this family.
But now that so there we go.
I think that's fair.
Right,
I respect
it is fair.
I respect
because
that.
I wouldn't date a young lady with
You said I ain't raising kids no more.
Right.
I respect that.
When I say let's move. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
Let me get a
no.
babysitter. Let me
Right,
get a babysitter.
yeah.
I
that's
got
fair.
my kids can sustain themselves.
No, that's fair.
I'm
That's
glad
absolutely
that you
fair. I
said
respect
that.
that. Yeah, I respect that. That's nothing wrong with that.
I'm glad that you.
Well, there's
said
nothing
that.
wrong with any statement because if that's your truth, that's your
because
truth. But I definitely believe that too.
If a man were to say, I don't date women with children, if I were to say that without you saying that first, that screen would blew up with comments that I'm immature, this, that, and other. And so
Oh, really?
I would not
Yeah,
date
I don't,
women
yeah, no.
with children.
I don't mind dating a man with children, but
I don't
I
date
don't
women
have
with
small
children.
I'm in a stage where I'm living my life.
I'm about to not date women
Like,
with grandchildren.
You know, I was a
But now-
I was a
now how-
hypocrite. I had
Now,
that
here's the
standard.
thing, though. Do you have grandchildren?
I have all the grandchildren.
Okay, so if you have all the grandchildren, how can you say you don't want to date a woman with grandchildren?
Just like I just said.
Right, because I guess you want to get up and go and
a
don't want
little
to be
bit
bothered.
out of the pocket.
So hey
Well,
guys,
because a
can
woman
we
with
revisit
grandkids
something
is
real
different
quick?
from a man with grandkids. Because I don't keep my grandchildren. You gonna keep yours.
Right.
They gonna be at your house.
Back to the point that I made earlier. That's why marriage is for the benefit of men, because women very rarely die alone. Why? Because they have their kids and their grandkids. Men don't typically have that. They not babysitting the grandkids. The grandkids are not coming to live with them. They're not keeping the grandkids in summer. So
Hey, we're going to hold on one second. We're gonna respond to interact a little bit with the
Comments.
comments. So one of the
Okay.
comments were saying, "Do you think your expectations are unrealistic?"
I don't. But go ahead.
No, I do not feel like my expectations are unrealistic, because it's not like I haven't met men that meet those expectations.
But you didn't marry him.
Right.
I did not, because I have previously been in a season where I did not want a relationship. So when I did not want a relationship, I did not pretend that I wanted a relationship. And when those men came along, I did not even pretend like that's what I wanted. I didn't play any games. I was very honest and I was very open. So yes, I have met men like that, but I just wasn't in the place to receive that. But so no, I don't feel like that. My expectations are unrealistic, because I've met men that met them.
So at that point, you're just a strictly diggler. You just wanted to have sex.
No, I didn't want to have sex at all. I was actually practicing abstinence. I was just dating. I was just in a friendly stage. Like, we can hang out, we can have a good time.
Hold on, stop. Let's stop. Explain it to me. You're not having sex, but you're just dating.
Yeah, it's your dating. You're going out, you're going to the movies, you're going to dinner, you're going skating, you're going bowling.
So did the brother know that you wasn't putting out?
It was a known fact that I was abstaining.
And he
from sex.
still did all that with you.
Trips, everything. Yes.
That brother crazy. See, it's men like that fucks it up for everybody. He knew.
It's men like that
Alright,
constantly show women that you don't have to feel like every man fits in a box. Like, there are men that will do those things for you. There are men that will respect your decisions. There are men that will.
I think right, and I agree with that. As long as everything is laid
It's
out
on the
up
table.
front, correct? Up
Yes,
front.
on the
Right.
table. That's my
And
whole
so,
thing.
and that's the biggest thing. Give that
No
person
blindside.
the option
Yeah.
of accepting or rejecting.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You know what it is.
Clearly, we've
It's
never
not.
dated.
Clearly, who never dated?
You and I. Clearly.
All right, David.
And I'm not gonna say in
Huh?
that dating phase, I ran across men that said, when I told them, like, no, I'm abstaining right now, I'm, in a place of finding myself, I'm in a place to heal, and I'm in a place to grow. They said, okay, well, I ain't got to be dating, I'm not going to be spending money on you, and, you ain't putting out. And, I looked at that as like, a good thing. Like, yeah, I need to know that this is the type of person you is. Because what if 20 years down the line, something happens to me and I can't put out? I need to know that you're going to be able to rock with me regardless, that we built something outside of a sexual relationship. So, it's to each his own.
Right, but
Can you see me? Because I'm confused on it.
Yeah, those things come from a committed relationship, though, right? You're not expecting those things from someone you're just dating, right?
If they're not committed, they're not having sex. That's not even.
No, what I'm saying is that I look at like everything. I'm taking even from the dating stage. I'm looking. My eyes are wide open. I'm trying to see what type of your character. You learn a lot. You learn a lot about somebody when you take sex off the table. I'll just be honest.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, you gonna learn how fast I'm gonna disappear.
Listen,
How do you take sex off?
100% agree.
We're not talking about marriage. You're out here dating.
I'm dating.
And I know you ain't supposed to have sex till you're married. I'm not.
We
I'm
passed
not
that. I had my first child before I was married, so we passed that.
So
I'm not abstaining. First of all, let me get that clear. I'm not abstaining because I'm waiting on marriage. That was not my reasons for abstaining. My reasons for abstaining is because I was in a growth stage of my life and I was in a healing period of my life. And I know that sex complicates things, especially good sex. Good sex complicates things. You could be gung-ho on you ain't gonna do this and you ain't gonna do that and you ain't gonna do that, and then you get dick down right and now all that just flew out the window. You over there cooking bacon and you just doing whatever to keep that good penis. So I know that. I'm a mature woman. I know that.
Okay.
So sex complicates
hold on,
things.
y'all do
So
what to
you
keep-
take sex off the
We're,
table.
we're gonna respond to a comment real quick. So one said that, are you emotionally detached from men?
No, I am not emotionally attached.
I'm mentally detached from my emotions. Me, I am. But
I am not emotionally detached from men. I definitely still have feelings. I definitely still like feel things. I definitely still like people. I definitely still want to be around people. I definitely still crave affection. I definitely still crave attention. Like my emotions are still very much intact.
Okay.
So there are women out here. See, that's what I don't like. So there are women out here that thinks that, just like you said, the trip thing. You keep bringing the trip things up. That I guess that's a win.
It's not a win.
No, I'm just saying. I'm hearing this. So a man knowing that, do you think that y'all take this trip and him? What are you talking about? Trip to the grocery store? No, I know, which I know you're not. You're talking about You talking about trips?
I'm talking about getting flued out.
And you're not putting out. He flying you out, but you ain't.
You focus on that, brother. That's your focus.
Yeah, that's my focus. That's what you mean. Is that my focus? That is my focus.
It sounds like, yeah. Okay.
Because I'm trying to think. Because I'm still dating. You married.
Right.
You locked in. You good. You got pussy. As soon as you walk out of here, boom. I don't. I gotta go talk Mac. I gotta do a lot of stuff to get mine. So I'm learning. She's a dating single woman. So there are women like
Someone
her out there.
says she's weaponizing her.
There's women out there like that believe that a man can do all of this. Name the stuff again that this brother did for you before, and you didn't put out still. You didn't give him no coochie.
Someone said, "Damn right, focus on that issue." So I guess this is the direction we're gonna go in. So continue.
Yeah.
So what's the issue? So is that a man or a woman saying that? Can I know since I can't see the comment? Is that a man or a
a
woman?
man or a woman that made that comment?
This is
I
me.
focus on that issue.
This is me asking you. This is me saying this. This is the kind of statement I'm making. There are women out there that I hope I don't ever run across. Women out there that thinks that I'm gonna do all of this or any of this, and we're not getting to what I first of all, I don't go meet a woman to take out to fly out anywhere. If I'm gonna fly somebody somewhere, we fucking. Or with shit, we're not going. I'm not going with you. I holler at you when we get back. We can be those type of friends. But I don't think that you and that's off the table, because a lot of times
Hey, I might be married, but I ain't doing that either, bro. If I was single,
Here's my thing though.
I'm not.
Y'all realize that when you're from small towns, like, being from Tulsa,
Ain't a town small enough.
everybody know everybody, you know what I'm saying? An out of town trip can teach you a lot about a person. It can let you really get involved and engrossed, because you don't have everybody while y'all at dinner. You don't have anybody, knowing you and maybe gonna text their baby mama and say this or whatever, or while y'all walking the beach, really conversating, really a deep conversation. You ain't got I don't know about nobody else, but I know a lot of people. When I'm in places where I know a lot of people, there's a lot of interaction. I'm a social person. I'm interacting with other people, you know what I'm saying? So an out of town trip really puts you outside of that. It really lets you get to know this person. You don't know nobody. You ain't worried about work. You ain't worried about kids. You ain't worried about nothing.
But you're still not having sex with
really
this
get to
brother.
know this person on a deeper level.
Yeah.
Regardless of that, you're still.
Yeah, I can get to know you on deeper levels.
So this brother took you on a trip in hopes, like, he might be saying, I'm gonna get her away from all this. Maybe I can get the coochie by getting her away from.
That don't have to be the end goal though. Like, so are you?
I think you said it. As long as you're communicating this with those people,
Hold on.
and you're letting them know.
Did he crazy?
Damon, I have a question for you.
Yeah. Go
Are
ahead.
you telling me that the end goal
Yes.
for every
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
for every woman you meet is to fuck?
Yes.
That's the end goal for every.
Hold on.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna tell you right
Yes.
now. Listen. I'm telling you 100%. absolute damn skipping. And
There's no need for me to meet you. Why am I gonna meet you? I don't need a cook. I don't need none of that. I don't jack off.
Because you
I
talking
need
about,
some pussy.
coochie is everywhere. Every woman got a coochie.
Okay.
You trying to get to know if this woman is somebody that you could spend your life with.
shit, that's part of the knowing.
Yeah, you don't think that's part of it?
That's part of the knowing. What you talking about?
You don't get that out of the way.
I don't want to get married with nobody and then find out it's awful.
Yeah.
Come on now, that's part of the
I'm
knowing.
not, and I would. I'm not. Now, let me-
That's part of the
disclaimer.
knowing.
But
I ain't marrying nobody that I ain't screwed and that I ain't living with.
It's part of the knowing.
so this is my thing. You said you touched on every woman I meet. Yeah, every woman I see that I'm attracted to is a potential fuck. Now,
If they're in that zone,
right.
It's too old. You're too.
gotta be in that
So
zone.
we don't. Old 54-year-old men don't supposed to have sex. I got uncles.
I said we're too old for that. Like it just has to be more than that. Like
Too old
it
for
has
what?
to be.
No,
I get that from your perspective,
Right.
but we're talking from a man's
and
perspective.
it does have to be more than that, but that has to be in the that.
But again, I do respect you. You make it. You're saying you make that known up front, and if that person
Okay.
accepts that, then that's what it is. Then they
I
do what going in.
I would be so
That's
upset
on
with
him.
you. I'm sitting there talking to you for a couple of
That's
days.
on
or whatever,
him. If
and
she look here, we can go out, but ain't nothing gonna happen, and he accept those conditions, he can't be mad, bro.
no, and then when did she tell him? You got to
Before
tell.
we got there.
You tell.
Nah, I can't be before we got before we
Yeah.
booked trips and shit.
You got to tell me
No,
when
that's
I
what
walk.
I'm saying. It was before. It wasn't.
Oh, I understand. Hey,
I
listen,
think-
on this, I'm 100% with you. If you say, hey, listen, yes, we can do this, but we will not have sex, do you still want to go forward with it? And if they say,
no.
yeah, then that's right, sister, that's on them.
And
I'm
not
100%
even,
with
and
you.
not even like that, but more so like I'm currently practicing abstinence. If you want to still date me, you know we can.
Look,
I tell them before
I respect
we
it. I respect
The
it.
rest of the conversation,
Let's go.
you're gonna be talking about that.
Numbers, I tell them.
Shit, the
I
first-
tell them at the number exchange. We can get to know each other. We can hang out, but I'm currently
I respect
practicing
that.
abstinence. Like.
I respect
You
that.
even still want this number.
That's what
You
she's
done
saying
asked
now.
for
She's
it
saying
because
that
you
right
saw
now.
me and you
saying
thought,
that
you
right
know.
Yes, she said
in
before
your
she
mind, you
hands
probably
out her
thought
phone
that
number,
you
she's telling them.
So
she's practicing.
now, me personally,
She's
if you
practicing.
if you say now I'm practicing abstinence, I'm not having any. I'm walking off. I'm all right. Clearly, you ain't
Right,
going
and
on my life.
right, and so Dana, so the brothers who
And that
don't,
happened.
that's on
That
them.
happened.
That's on them. So if you're saying, hey, I'm celibate, I'm on this journey, but you can experience me in a different way, would you like to do that? And if that brother says yes, then that's it.
If that brother say yes, he is
That's
for
it.
a long.
And if a brother says no, then that's it too. So
I'm gonna tell you what that brother.
I
And
respect
I
that.
don't even be crying.
Hold on.
I really don't be crying either way. That's
Let me
that's
ask you
the
this.
beauty of the
Toy.
place that I'm in. You
Let
can
me-
say no, I can
right.
say yes.
Let me
See,
ask
I
you
hate
this.
Yeah,
that.
okay, that's-
See that?
Let me ask you this question,
I-
Toy. Hold on. Let me ask Toy this question. So women understand this. When you come in talking that 90 day and now you put the brother in a different zone. Like, okay, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of him. I'm gonna wait this 90 days. He really there just for the 90 days.
That's why I'm putting a time frame on.
So let me ask you
I don't
this.
say I'm practicing abstinence for the next year.
No, I'm just saying. Right?
Being
No.
celibate
Listen.
for the next
So I'm
year. I
asking
put
you
a
this
time
question.
frame on it
Okay,
because
listen.
you don't know
Listen.
how or when that might happen.
You
So
better
that's
fucking talk.
I don't put no time
Where me,
frame.
but now listen. So when you do these trips and all this, then you and this guy eventually become sexual.
Mhm.
It doesn't happen.
It has. Yes.
Are you still with that guy, or any of those
I
guys?
still deal with that guy. Yes.
Okay. He ain't. So y'all
I'm
not.
not with anybody because I'm single. Let's make
So-
that no.
So he did all of that, and y'all still not together.
Single should be something temporary, right?
No. Well, hold on. Let me say this. You're right. It is until you find somebody that you're
Exactly.
willing to share your space with.
Exactly.
That's me.
It makes me not want to be single.
But
Right.
That makes me
Right.
not want to be single.
But
That's
unfortunately, we're glorifying, not you.
I'm glorifying being
cultural.
single. I'm glorifying.
We're glorifying that.
There's
as
nothing wrong
that's
with
the best thing
You're
ever.
glorifying marriage.
When
It's
we
the best
should
thing ever.
be glorifying being in committed relationships,
Why?
raising children.
Why?
No, I disagree.
Why?
I
thank
disagree
you.
that we. Why should we be
I
glorifying
disagree with
it?
him.
I'm glorifying
Because he's
whatever
30
makes
years.
you happy.
Because his whole
If
adult
marriage
life,
makes
he's
you
been
happy
in
and a
Okay, so this has
commitment
nothing
makes
to
you
do
happy,
with
then
me
that's what you
being
should be
married.
in.
This has everything to do with advancing your
No,
culture.
I don't feel like we should be glorifying.
So,
anything.
do you mind,
I think we should be
someone
giving the
commented-
life
She's
that's
41.
best for us.
Someone
Karen said
commented,
that.
do you mind sharing your age? Yes, she did. She shared that urge. She said she's 41 years old.
She's
Whoever made
41. She's 41 with 3 children. She was married for 14 years. Now she's been divorced for how long? How
I've
long?
been divorced for 9 years.
9
but I was
years.
with
Oh.
my son's daddy for 7 of those 9.
Okay, so your youngest child.
So she's been single for 2 years.
Okay.
I've been single
Single.
for 4 years.
Single.
Okay, she's been single. I don't know how I got my math up. I got 7 and 9 is 2. But
So
okay,
are you-
She's been single for 4 years.
Are you? I don't need a man, or are you? I'm waiting on the right man.
She waiting on the perfect one. Hold on.
But I know. So where are you?
Okay, so the need word, I will say the need word is a little tricky with me. The need word is really for tricky.
I need a
really
female.
tricky with me. I have to wait until I want a man.
Do you want a man?
No, I do not. Not right now.
Why don't you?
Because I'm just not in that space in my life where I'm ready to,
So you're
you
still
know, really.
you're still here.
I'm not ready to compromise. I'm not ready to compromise.
Okay. So you're a point in your life at 41 years of age, been in long-term relationships, 14 and 7. That you're in point in your life right now where you want to do
I had
you.
another one sprinkled
Okay.
in there. So it was 26 years. I've been in 3 serious relationships in my life. They total 26 years.
26 years.
Shit, where my calculator?
She's 41. So she was
So most of my life,
16 years old, right.
I've been with a man.
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah, you
Okay.
do the man.
So
most of my life.
the question I asked, and just to get some clarity on it. So I asked, are you? I don't need a man, or I'm waiting for the right man. And you're saying right now you're just in a happy space doing you, correct?
I'm saying that I don't know that I will ever get to a space to where I feel like I need quote unquote a man.
Because-
I feel like that I will maybe get to a space one day when I want one.
So let me say this right quick. So you were 16 when you were in a serious
I was
relationship.
15 actually
Fif-
when I
fif-
met my ex-husband. Yeah.
When you were fit, you got married at 15, or you were just that? Okay, you were 15 in a committed
No, I
relationship.
didn't get married, but
Right.
yeah, I met. Yeah.
You met him at 15. So for 15 to whatever the math come up to, you were in a relationship. Let me ask you this: you're what are you, a psychologist, whatever? So there's
A therapist.
a therapist. There's a thing called arrested development.
Yes.
So it comes because of trauma. So do
But
you,
I didn't go through no trauma because I left.
Hold on.
I didn't stay in
a committed relationship is trauma.
To you.
What? Now,
At 15 years
I
old,
agree with you.
you don't commit. You can't talk to nobody else at 15 years old. That's trauma.
I don't agree
That
with
is
trauma. I actually
absolutely
feel
trauma.
like when my ex-husband
It's
came to my
trauma
life-
at 19.
Hold on, she said when her ex, cause see, I love her this. Okay, when that ex-husband came in your life, what happened?
I feel like that it was a good. I feel like it was a positive thing. I feel like it was a needed thing. I feel like it was exactly where my life was supposed to be. So I do not feel like there was a traumatic experience.
All right.
You saying thank you? She's 15 years old saying this.
Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Well, because we always have these greater conversations and discussion, and it's just refreshing for her to say at that point in time she did need a man. We gotta quit all this. I don't need a man. All this strong sister stuff.
Well, she don't need a man.
She don't want a man right now.
I don't. That's what I said, but that's B. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I don't know that at any point in my life I would ever feel like I need a man again. I feel like maybe, I don't know, some years later I might.
Curiosity.
want one.
See, what's wrong with what a lot of black women, nothing is absolute and nothing is 100, but a lot of black women, do they honestly feel that way, or they're expressing that because their experiences?
You ask this audience. I'm asking you something. I'm asking you something.
I feel like,
Toya.
and I could be wrong. This is just my personal opinion. I look at needs because need is such a strong word. If you look it up in the dictionary, it's such a strong word. It's just something that you like can't live without. Like
Sex.
you need air,
Sex.
you need food, you need, you know what I'm saying? So
And you need
Sex.
a man.
I don't need.
So
no,
hold
I don't
on.
need
So are
that.
you having sex? You might be asking. You not be fucking a man, but are you fucking?
I might not be fucking a man. I don't go both ways.
No.
Fucking, I'm
Do you
fucking
have,
a
if
man.
I came to your house and opened your drawer,
It's
a lot of
definitely
bitches
need a
gonna
man.
get in my face.
He mean, are you masturbating or are you having?
Oh yes, I am. I take.
So that's cheating,
and I
of
take
course.
that-
So you're not abstinent. Yeah, you know you got 3 suitcases and one of them full of dicks, and this motherfucker sitting over there, he ain't getting nothing. You will be left in Jamaica.
I'm talking about a point in my life where I was practicing abstinence. That ain't gonna be my whole life. It was never designed to be my whole life.
So
That's all.
you
It
just
wasn't
taking
like I was
a break
practicing abstinence
from
because I know
penises,
some
but not feeling
Right. She over there going crazy. He in the room by herself on a trip that he paid for.
Right.
Nigga, ain't no way.
Now that's disrespectful. I would never take my rose on a trip.
You wait till you get home, huh?
Thank you.
And you got a rose. She ain't gonna never want a man. I put a rose on a female, and she quit me.
I've never heard of a
That's
rose
about
before.
right.
They a monster.
I've never heard.
And that's why
They
I made it very clear that when women say they want men, it be for dick, not for orgasms, because you can get that without a man. So it be for women that rather have penetration.
Right. Well, I need a woman.
You know, my mission in life, however much time I have left.
Be you
is to
outdated.
just- No, I'm not, man.
That's what they
I'm-
saying. I'm agreeing
not
with
outdated.
you. They saying this.
Right.
Who said that? Hold on.
I'm not outdated
Hold
to
on.
say that we need in our community
I'm going
to
back.
get away from this narrative.
Pimpin'
that
Crow
man
said B is outdated.
not needed. Pimpin' Crow said that. Pimpin' Crow, I will never ever get tired of saying that it is unacceptable for us to say in our community that a black man is not needed.
Hey,
I'm not going to. I'm going to shout that from the
hey,
rooftop.
Here's my thing. I
slack
need
tail,
black men for a lot of things.
but
to
not
be
dick.
in my household
Clearly.
and to be my man is just not one of them. So don't get it twisted. Like, I need black men to be educators. I need
But
black
to
men
say
be
you
protected.
don't need the man to help and support and raise children,
She didn't say that.
I didn't say
I
she
never
said
said
that.
that, man. That's why you gotta take that out of
No, I didn't say you said that.
You
Listen.
didn't say
I
that.
said to say. I didn't say you said.
Oh.
I said to say that you don't. Again, I'm going to be an advocate.
Let me read this comment
For-
because this is funny.
Again, I'm going to be that advocate for black men
Okay, so B, let me explain
and
something.
say we're needed in our community.
I do not feel like that black men are not needed. I feel like there are
I'm not-
many
that's
roles
disrespectful.
that black men are needed. Men, period, are needed. I feel like there's many things that men, especially our black men, are needed for. I'm not that woman. I don't feel like that y'all can fall off the face of the earth and everything will be okay. No.
So
but I do feel like that for women, personally, that just may not be where y'all need it. So maybe black men need to transform to their thinking
So
to where they understand that there's other roles that you can be
Right.
needed
No,
in.
I
Like,
understand.
I need my black
She's a-
men
she's
to
a
be
counselor.
fathers.
Okay,
to
I
these
understand
children.
that, and that's my argument. So my argument is not needing a black man for sex. I'm not arguing that. My argument is for our community and a
yeah,
large
our
majority
community.
of the women in our community to stop saying this because it does not lend itself to value. And then our young men and our boys are hearing our women constantly say
and
that
I
we're
think
not
there's
needed.
a narrative that has been created, and that's why I always specify.
B is
Like,
not.
they say
Hold on one
black
second,
women
sister. I'm
sign
going to
up
address this.
No,
Hold on
no,
one
keep
second.
going.
B is not unrealistic
Yes, you
to
are.
say that our young black boys do not need to constantly hear black women say that they don't need them. This is part of the problem as to why these young black men act the way they do towards black women. Because we're telling them they're not valued and they're not needed. Now, no one needs a no good man. I definitely wouldn't support a woman staying in a bad relationship or any of that. But we need positive, morally correct black men in our community and in our homes.
Is that what you're saying?
There you go.
What are these black men bringing?
I
What
get
are
that,
they
sister,
bringing
and
that
I understand that.
Hold on. This is what y'all both doing. Toy. B, you're coming from a perspective where you're looking at you.
No, I'm not coming from that perspective. I'm coming from the perspective of valuing. I said, I'm not coming from my perspective. This is not my perspective. I mean, what I mean by that, I'm not looking at myself. I'm
That's
making this
right.
a broad or issue.
No, you're not. You're looking at yourself.
No, I'm not looking at myself.
Alright.
I'm saying
Absolutely.
that the mantle that I'm
Because I'm looking
pushing,
at myself.
the narrative that I want to push is that I want black women who says this to stop. I think that
But
young
as
black
black
men
men,
hearing this, I think it adds to the way they demean our black women. I think it adds to the way they treat young black women. I think that because of this statement, black men are not, young black men are not trying harder than they need to because they have this feeling. That's why they're slapping young black women. They're referring to them in bad terms and
I've never
languages.
been on
They're
something
sexually
like that.
objectifying
Tell me
these
this.
black women. And I think
Tell me
that
this.
stems from the fact that we
If you
keep telling
take
them,
yourself
you're not
out-
valuable, we don't need you.
Take yourself out of the equation.
Myself is not in it. I'm holding up the banner
You
for
are
black men,
absolutely
period.
100% thinking about yourself as a black man. But if you think about some of the other black men that women deal with, you got to think about there are. black
I
men
understand
out here
that. I'm not
having
saying that there's not awful men out there.
There are black women out here having multiple women, having babies on their wives.
Because they're being allowed to do that. They're doing that
Poverty,
because they're being
or
allowed
whatever
to
they
do
wanna
that.
do. Like there's a lot of black men that are not needed. So we can't.
Black men,
and I
those
always-
black men that are committing those acts are being allowed to do that by those black women, not holding them accountable to be
But they're
men.
being allowed to do that because society has told women that they need a man. So they don't know how to transition from that. They keeping them in because our society told them. is
The
get
only
ready,
society
get married,
that told them
keep
that,
man because you need that man.
and the only narrative where that's taught is in the black community.
But this is what I'm saying. It has to be.
No, this is what I'm saying. No Hispanic, if we have any Hispanic person, if we have anybody of Hispanic descent on this platform right now, do y'all teach y'all's daughters that?
I work on the south side of Oklahoma City. I work with a bunch of Hispanics. That is a lie. Stop saying that black women are the only people that think like that. They are not.
And they're not.
Now, listen, I said teach. Yeah, you might have isolated pockets of women who think that way.
And we weren't taught that either.
Black Hispanic women
We were
are not. Now, I
I
worked in Hispanic community for 9 years. And
full disclaimer. I said I came from a bunch of people who
Correct.
were married
Correct.
forever. Most of my grandparents, they did not work. These men were their everything. They paid all the bills. They provided. I didn't come from a don't need a man standpoint. So that is not the narrative that I'm creating. What I am saying is that we have to stop pushing that black men are needed just because y'all black men and y'all want to feel needed. No, you have to show yourself needed. You have to show yourself value. You have
And
to
I
show yourself
understand that. I haven't argued against that. I also stated if he's sorry or this and that, yeah, of course.
So
You
that's
get
what I'm
rid of
saying.
it.
So we not
If he's
saying that
abusive,
everything.
if he's physically abusive, if he's gainfully unemployed, if he's not supportive, if he's not helping out with, no, you don't need that. No,
I
that's
don't
dead
need
weight.
you.
No, I understand that. I'm not pushing
I don't
that.
need you. So
No, I'm
that's
not
what
pushing
saying.
that.
It's-
But if
it's
he's
not being triggered to every black man, y'all put yourself in that whole group. I tell black, like I told you, if you follow me on Facebook, you will understand. I tell black men all the time. I will say on a post, if you're taking care of your kids, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, if you provide for your families, we appreciate you and we love you. So if you put yourself in that lump sum of when
Yes.
women are saying they don't need black men, it's because you put yourself there. It's because you didn't set yourself apart. But I can't sit here and say that because I know some black men
Okay,
that are not
so
needed,
let
that
me-
my son is gonna feel like this.
Yeah, let me
Because I'm
interrupt
raising
you,
a
right?
black man that's
Let me get this in because you do clinical work. So, and you mentioned you have a son or sons. So you do.
Yes, I have one son.
Okay, so to hear as you a black child, black boy, and you're hearing, not you in general.
Who's
You're
he hearing that?
not you in general, okay? Because you hear this almost on all social media platforms. I mean, even young women say this, and you're constantly
Well, I have a
hearing,
lot of kids,
and
so-
you're constantly hearing that I don't need a man. I don't need a man.
Okay,
I don't need a
let-
man.
let- let
I
me
don't need a
interrupt.
man.
Let me interrupt on that.
Culturally, what does that say? That's all I gotta say.
So I heard too, right?
I don't say that.
And I don't. It has no effect on me. For you know, because there are so many women out there that do want a man and that do need a man and that do.
And those are the voices we're not hearing enough from.
And first of all, that's not my narrative. I'm not
We
I'm
are
not
human.
screaming that I don't need a man. That's just my internal feelings. I'm not saying that
Right.
like
Right.
out loud.
I understand.
Like,
I didn't say.
that ain't needed.
Well,
Correct, and thank you. But you made that clear, and I supported you in that. That you did make that statement, and you don't feel that way. And I
now I'm saying this. Let's get back to what I was talking about. I'm saying this, but for us single brothers again, the other half of the show, us single brothers out here that are trying to date and are looking for a good woman, you just prove the point. You're putting so much on us brothers. You know, we gotta be Damon Alges, and it's not many of us out there. It's not how many out there are that can check off half of your boxes. You know,
But guess what? You don't have. This is the thing that I
what
want
are
men
you
to take away.
bringing to the table? Not
This is
you.
what I
I'm
want
speaking
men to
to
take away from it. Guess what? You don't have to be the man that loves that woman. If her boxes are too many to check off, if she requires too much attention, if she requires too many dates, if she requires too much affection, if she requires too much coddling for you, you don't have to be that man that loves that woman. You don't have to be the man that deals with that woman. You have a choice in that. Step away and let the man that wants to step up and love her the way she needs to be loved do that.
Right.
Men get too caught up in that. Oh, you know, she
No,
want me
no.
to be there and she want me to
No,
be
no,
there.
no,
If you
no.
don't got that in you, don't be
no,
there.
hold on. Now here we go, because you on my territory now. So I do step away, right? So
So what's the problem?
it's not a problem. I don't have a problem. You gotta understand. I'm speaking to a different platform. I'm speaking to TikTok live here. So because I'm single, and why am I single? Is this, that, and the other. Well, the reason I'm single because I'm not again willing to check off all of her boxes. I'm not willing to do all the things that. See, a lot of people on here saying that you want too much, but these are the same people that say, "Well, why am I single?" Well, and that you want too much. They're saying that you want too much, and they're saying, asking me why am I single? Well, I'm single because you women want too much. You want more than I'm willing to give. It's too much. It's
And
too
that's
much
okay.
it's too much for a man who's been a man my entire life, right? All men aren't bees. We're all not affectionate. I come from a family. Swear to God, on my mother's side, I come from a family where the word love wasn't a word. We didn't hear that. I didn't hear.
Right.
From my
I
mother.
can say the same
Yes,
thing.
did I?
I didn't hear I love you from my mom. I didn't hear I love you
I've
from my
never
grandma.
heard that.
But did my grandmother, my mother, my auntie, and my aunt, did they love me? Well, turn this motherfucker up for me.
Right.
And I know that. My cousins, and I know that. But do they walk now for whatever reason, we've started using the word I love you. I tell my grandkids, I tell my kids I love them, and they start thinking something's wrong with it, asking me about insurance and all kind of stuff. So me didn't come from that, right? I don't want a woman to walk to me and start massaging my back. I don't even like that. Listen. So
you have your preferences, but guess what? It's never gonna be too much or too little for the woman that's made for you. There's
Right.
gonna be somebody out there that wants to fulfill whatever it is you need in a mate.
and that's what
And
I'm
until you
waiting
find that,
for,
why settle?
and I'm not.
Well, I mean, I don't believe no one should settle. I think settle just leads
But that's
to
what settling is when you
settle
want
leads to
somebody to
misery.
have somebody.
No, I agree. Settle leads to misery and unhappiness. But here's the deal, because again, is that we all want what we want, right? And
Right.
it is what it is, and no one is wrong for wanting what they want. So, no, right, and that's unfortunate. So one of the comments
But you know what?
says you
Speaking of
can't play
accident,
both roles. You can't. No, hold on. Read this comment to you. Said you can't play both roles. You can't play the man role and the female role. You want to respond to that?
I don't want to be the man. I have no desire to wear no pants. I can't wait to stop to just be able to be in a woman and stop.
Cut it off. Cut it off right there. We're gonna end the show with that right there. Stop. Cut.
I got
All right.
a
Thank you very much.
I got a remark from that. You don't want to
She
be.
said,
You don't want to be.
I want to stop.
You don't want to be the man in your own relationship,
I
right?
don't want to be the man.
But who's responsible for your orgasms? Who's responsible for your sexual pleasures? Because it's not the man. It's who?
But first of all, let me
Just
just
answer the
clarify.
question.
There was a period and point in my
Oh,
life.
okay.
I never said that I was about to do that forever. I never agreed to that. I never signed up for that to be for everything. It was a period that I needed to be healing because I did not want to project the things I had been through and the things that I experienced in life onto somebody
And
else.
I commend you for that. And if there's any young women on the platform that heard that, she was in a relationship and she took some time for herself. I commend that. You're gonna leave a relationship and start another one too soon. You're bringing baggage.
Don't even be dry.
You're bringing in all those things. Absolutely. So I do support that and agree with that. That sometimes we move on too quickly after we've been in a long-term relationship. Now you've been with brother a couple of months now. Come on, but I'm just speaking in general. But you was with this person for 7 years, right? And so kudos to you for that.
Hold on, let me ask a question because we had a young lady on here last week.
That's right.
Well, she was married.
She was married 5 years, but she was married 22 years.
Married. She was married before her.
Right, she was married 22 years, and her husband died.
Passed away.
Right, correct. Hey, thank you for being a follower of the show.
No problem.
So she said, I just want to get everybody's opinion on this. And B is against this. Matter of fact, mute B's mic right now. B said it is, well, you heard the show. B said it is disrespectful for his wife to give him oral sex.
No, that's not. I said to ejaculate in her face is disrespectful.
Okay.
That's what.
Is that right?
And again, I will say to be in his wife, whatever works for them.
Right.
Whatever works. And that's where you, Damon, have to take yourself outside of the situation of you and married folks' business. And if that works for them, it's like
I'm not sad. Someone said I'm sad. No, he's not sad.
That is what works for him.
This is how
all over the
that
place.
lady makes those
Right.
and she reminds him.
So I listen aggressively. I'm addressing the comment. I apologize.
Hold on,
I just listen. When I listen, guys, I have an intense look on my face. I'm not sad. It's just when I'm listening, I'm all in.
Did you answer the question? I didn't get to answer the question.
Yeah. Well, she said.
Hold on, can I ask the question?
Go ahead.
He trying to hack that because he wanted me. Because he did say that.
No, I did not say about oral sex.
I will rewind.
You said about anal. I said hell no, and you said ejaculating in the face. I said that to me, that ejaculating in my wife's face. I said that was my queen, and I would not. I'm gonna stand by that. Now,
so you gonna come in her mouth?
I'm not. Listen, I don't.
What goes on? You mind?
There's a woman you treat to me. There's a woman you treat a certain kind of way, and then there's your wife that you chose.
I can't get married if I can't get the hoe and the wife. I can't get married.
Well, that's fine.
That's what the other lady said.
Well, see, I get that. You saying being the hoe and the wife. So here's the thing.
And the wife.
If you say as the wife, I want you to do this in my face, my eye, my everything, then that's fine.
I mean, you gotta respect your wife's decision.
Exactly. But here's the thing.
I'm not gonna get married and put stipulations on anything that goes on in our bed. Anything goes at that point. We married.
So
anything goes.
Right. Okay. So